let's take a look at Trump, shall we? Because homie's having a fucking day, right? Bro, we got to look at the post, okay? The post is insane. Dude, I've not seen a post like this. And, you know, now, again, we saw that Pam Bondi's not going anywhere. So I'm guessing that Dan Bongino is going to be resigning. But here is the Trump melter, okay? Oh, my Lord. This thing is nuts. Dude, I feel like Trump is already a lame duck president, guys. Don't you? Later this year, they're going to have a huge ICE budget where it could get dark, especially if the economy starts going bad with the tariffs and shit. It could get problematic with ICE showing up. But I feel like the ICE raids are really... like, people are really getting sick of this shit. Also, I don't know if you guys saw, but Midas Touch fed this into ChatGPT and had ChatGPT analyze it, saying, hey, is the person who wrote this guilty or not guilty? And the shit that ChatGPT wrote is, like, truly breathtaking. It's pretty funny. All right, you ready? Let's read it. So he says, what's going on with my boys... and in some cases, gals? They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who is doing a fantastic job. We're on one team, Maga, and I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration, the talk of the world, he says. Bro, dude, think about how fucking demented is this man that, like, thinks he has a perfect administration that's the talk of the world. I mean, that is some next level, like, anti-reality. And selfish people are trying to hurt it all over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. For years, it's Epstein over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration who conned the world with the Russia hoax, 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, and more? Dude, he just runs through his greatest hits of nonsense. My God, dude. They created the Epstein files. Oh, here we go. This is some Delulu, right? They created the Epstein files. So now Trump is saying there's not even any Epstein files. This whole thing was just created by Hillary. Dude, no fucking way, bro. That is wild. Oh my God. See, this shit is just going to piss off his base, man. You wait till you see the Megyn Kelly tweet, guys. Oh my God. All right, they created the Epstein files. Just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton Christopher Steele dossier that they used on me. And now my so-called friends are playing right into their hands. Why didn't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files? If there was anything in there that could have hurt the MAGA movement, why didn't they use it? Why don't you release it, Trumpy? Right? I mean, you're the president. It's your DOJ now. Release it, right? They haven't even given up on the JFK or MLK files. No matter how much success we have had securing the border, deporting criminals, fixing the economy, energy dominance, a safer world where Iran will not have nuclear weapons. Oh, they will. It's never enough for some people. We are about to achieve more in 6 months than any other administration has achieved in over 100 years. And we have so much more to do. We are saving our country and making America great again, which will continue to be our complete priority. The left is imploding. 𝗙cie Patel and the FBI must be focused on investigating voter fraud, political corruption, Act Blue, the rigged and stolen election of 2020, blah, 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 and arresting thugs and criminals instead of spending month after month looking at nothing but the same old radical left-inspired documents on Jeffrey Epstein. Let Pam Bondi do her job. She's great. The 2020 election was rigged and stolen, and they tried to do the same thing in 2024. That's what she is looking into as AG and much more. 1 year ago, our country was dead, and now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. Let's keep it that way and not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody that nobody cares about. Thank you for your attention to this matter. First off, can I just say that that is batshit? Okay, unhinged, yes. Like, in the course of it, he said, we're perfect, we're the talk of the world. Why are you still talking about this dead guy? The files aren't even real. All of that was made up by my opponents. Why didn't they release them if they had something on me? He fails to mention that he was president in there and is president now, so he could just release this and dispel it all. But he's like, what are they doing? Okay, and then what happens is he goes into the whole like, oh, we got to focus on the stolen election, and they tried to do it again, and the country was dead, and now we're just, everything's perfect, and we're amazing, and we're winning, and nobody cares about Epstein. So that is a wild adventure, okay? A wild adventure of like mental illness and you know, sociopathic delusion. And MAGA is fracturing, okay? They are fracturing like hard. Let's look at the Midas Touch thing, because the thing they posted is pretty fun. So we asked ChatGPT if Trump sounded guilty in his post about Epstein. Here's what it said. It said, Trump's post reads as extremely defensive and erratic. And while it doesn't offer direct evidence of guilt regarding his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, it raises serious red flags, especially when judged by how an innocent person typically responds to allegations. Here are some points that make him look guilty or at least suspicious. One is overreaction to the topic. Instead of a simple, I had no involvement with Epstein, Trump launches into a rant involving Obama, Hillary, Biden, the JFK files, Pam Bondi, and voter fraud. This kind of deflection and over-the-top denial often signals perceived vulnerability, right? Absolutely. The next is deflection and conspiracy dumping. He claims Obama, Hillary, Comey, Brennan created the Epstein files. That's both conspiratorial and nonsensical. It suggests he's trying to discredit the existence of the files rather than address what they say. When someone tries to invalidate evidence before anyone says it implicates them, it raises eyebrows. And this is huge, right? I don't know if you guys have ever watched the movie All the President's Men. You ever watch All the President's Men? It's a great movie with Dustin Hoffman and Robert Redford. They play Woodward and Bernstein, and they're out there hunting down Watergate. It's one of the greatest movies of all time. But there's a great scene in there where Robert Redford comes in, and he's got his little pad, and he's sitting with the editor, and he's running through this press conference about like talking to these people, and he stumbles upon this line. And Ben Bradley says to him, like, what's the big deal? Why is this line something special? And he said, I never asked him about Watergate. He said, I merely asked him about this guy getting arrested, and he started talking about Watergate. And Ben Bradley was like, holy shit, right? They never asked about Watergate. The guy just started talking about Watergate when asked about something completely separate. And it's very telling, right? When somebody implicates themselves when you haven't even asked the question. That scene is like a pivotal scene when they realize, like, oh shit, we have something really big here, right? It's huge. All right, now it says lack of a clear denial. Not once does Trump explicitly say, I had no improper relationship or involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. Instead, he argues that no one cares, it's a distraction, that even if they were files, they were fabricated. Now, this one is huge, right? Because, again, he's trying to say no one cares about this when literally everybody in his base cares about this. Preemptive dismissal. His argument of, if there was anything in the files that could hurt me, they'd have used it by now, sounds like someone trying to convince themselves they're safe, not someone confident they have nothing to hide. And then targeting those investigating. Rather than supporting a full investigation to clear his name, he attacks those investigating and says the FBI should be focused on election fraud and Act Blue. That's a classic misdirection. And again, something innocent people generally don't need to do. I thought this was really interesting. Just some really good points, which are absolutely accurate. This thing reads like a huge ass covering, I got caught with my hand in the cookie jar, right? Because he says, people are saying there's a problem with Pam. Dude, Pam's doing a great job. We're perfect. Oh, the only reason people are talking about this is our enemies are making up shit. Our enemies who are big liars and nasty people, they're trying to divide us. And why didn't they release these if I was in there? Oh, yeah, because I'm not in there. Because clearly this is bullshit. And you know what? Even if I was in there, it's all made up anyway, right? We're out here. Nobody even cares about this. We're out here doing the real work because we're perfect and the whole world loves us. And dude, it is a person that is backed in the corner. So Megyn Kelly yesterday was all on Pam Bondi's ass. And she was like, Pam Bondi has embarrassed President Trump. And this is a big scandal, this, that, and the other. But like, look at what she tweeted today. Okay. Because she tweeted something today that is wild. Look at this. There are really only two options. One, there's no huge undisclosed there on Epstein. Bondi misled on it until she didn't. And Trump is quick to forgive a loyal soldier for being desperate to get on TV. Or two, there is a scandal that's being covered up and it's at his direction. Oh, dude, that's a bold move right there for Megyn Kelly. Now, for me personally, I don't care, okay? I don't care about, like, if Democrats, any Democrat that was involved in Epstein, I'm fine with them frying too. You know what I mean? Like, I'm up with having a bipartisan sexual abuser cookout and letting them all go right under the fucking bus. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to protect any Democrats. Like, no, fuck it. Let them all burn. Dude, I'm totally fine with all of them burning. This is the fucking tweet right here, boss. This was it. Time to drop the really big bomb. We're going to blow up a little Trumpy. Real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DGT. Mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. And so this is where we're at, guys. The truth is now coming out. Now the question's going to remain if any of this shit is going to stick to him. Because we know that the Epstein files are hugely important to MAGA. I mean, it's weird. I feel like the Epstein files might be one of the biggest, most important things to Trump's base. Seriously. I feel like the Epstein files is like top 3 most important things to all of his base. Because a whole bunch of those MAGA people in particular, they're convinced that the Epstein files were covering some left-wing pedo ring. You know, they're like hugely convinced that there's this ginormous pedo ring of Trump's enemies, you know, and the reality is they're not there. I love this tweet. The Epstein files are on Pam Bondi's desk right now, but also they do not exist, but also they do exist and were written by Obama and Hillary when Epstein died in 2019 when the president was Donald Trump. Dude. This is in the running for worst post ever made. Look at Elon's comment. He said, seriously, he said Epstein half a dozen times while telling everyone to stop talking about Epstein. Just release the files as promised. Oh my God, look at Nick Fuentes. He says now Trump is claiming the Epstein files are a Democrat hoax. MAGA is dead. Good riddance. Uh-oh. Dude, MAGA just lost their patron saint of like anti-Semitism. What are they going to do without their patron saint of like replacement theory? That's fucking gonna be rough, dude. The conspiracy theories just aren't true. Never have been. It's an honor to serve the president of the United States, real Donald Trump, and I'll continue to do so for as long as he calls on me. Holy shit. Look at 𝗙𝗪𝗏𝗄𝗆's. Dude, you know what's crazy about this, though? 𝗙𝗪𝗏𝗆 and Dan Bongino, they literally got rich, guys, because of these conspiracy theories. That's how these guys got rich. They were literally hitting the cash register on the Epstein Democrat conspiracies. It was their entire game the whole time. They were huge on this. And now they're just like, whoopsie, we just made millions off you guys in your big conspiracy theories. And now we're telling you that, yep, nope, none of it was true. Never has been. Never have been. This is insane. So here's what Charlie Kirk says. President Trump on the Epstein files says he supports Pam Bondi at AG. The files are untrustworthy and created by Comey and Brennan. He wants his Justice Department focus on the voter fraud, the rigged election, Act Blue, and arresting thugs and criminals. But that's it. Dude, no editorializing from Charlie Kirk. This is very telling, guys, right here. Don't you think? Don't you feel like this speaks volumes? Because Charlie Kirk editorializes on everything. He does not post a thing without the Charlie Kirk interpretation of it, the Charlie Kirk commentary. And here he's reporting this like a little news blip. Like, let me just tell you what Trump said, with zero editorializing whatsoever. That is insane. That speaks volumes. That means that Charlie Kirk is afraid to touch it. He is afraid to fucking touch it, bro. Oh, that is wild. John Ossoff did have an interesting comment.
President Trump promised to end the wars. He promised to release the Epstein files. Did anyone really think the sexual predator president who used to party with Jeffrey Epstein was going to release the Epstein files?
Touche. The sexual predator president who used to party with Epstein, right? I mean, the man has a point. Dude, what about this, guys? Is this the craziest shit you've ever seen? Look at this shit, guys. Donald Trump is being interviewed by his daughter-in-law on Fox News. What is this? Why does she look like she snorted 100 lines of Ozempic and hasn't eaten in a month? Look at her fucking neck, bro. What the fuck is going on with this woman, dude? Her head's gonna pop off. But he is literally, think about this, guys. He is so on the ropes that the only place it's safe for him to do an interview is with his daughter-in-law on Fox fucking News, bro. He is like having to do interviews with his family on the propaganda network that paid $787 million to lie for him. I mean, dude, like, he's not winning. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.